and welcome to Intellings, where we explore books that have shaped the way we think, live, and interact with the world. Today, we are talking about one of the most influential self-improvement books of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. The book has been around for almost a century, has sold more than 30 million copies worldwide, has been translated into dozens of languages, and is still as relevant as ever in its lessons. Even today, it continues to be recommended by business leaders, psychologists, and everyday readers who swear by its principles. So what makes this book so powerful? Why has it remained a bestseller for decades? And most importantly, does it really work? That is what we shall explore today. Dale Carnegie, the author, wrote this book with one simple goal in mind: to help people build better relationships. Whether it is in business, friendships, or family interactions, this book teaches how to positively interact and connect with others. He breaks it down into simple and easy-to-follow principles without getting into complicated psychological theories. His advice is simple and practical that anyone can use. His first and, in our opinion, the biggest teaching is, do not criticize, condemn, or complain. How simple, and yet when we think about it, how often we do all these in our daily life without even realizing it. Carnegie points out that nobody likes being criticized, even if they are in the wrong. Criticism, he believes, makes people defensive, and instead of fixing the problem, it usually makes things worse. If you want to change someone's behavior, his advice is to encourage, not to criticize or condemn. His second biggest advice is, give honest and sincere appreciation. People love appreciation, but it must be an honest and sincere appreciation, not flattery or fake compliments. It must be a genuine recognition. When you do genuine appreciation, people know it, and it builds good relationships. Carnegie also stresses the importance of remembering people's names. A person's name is the sweetest sound to them, he writes. By calling someone's name, you immediately draw the person's attention, and it makes the conversation engaging. It is a simple advice, but how often do we remember people's names? The takeaway is, we should always make an effort. Another key takeaway from this incredible book is that we should always be genuinely interested in others. In other words, do not fake your interest and do not try to impress them. Instead, be curious about them. Ask about their interests. Listen more than you talk. People love to feel heard, and when you give them that space, they will naturally be friends with you. Carnegie also advises that instead of engaging in arguments, look for a common ground. Instead of calling out if someone is in the wrong, ask questions that can make them reconsider their position. Now, let us look at some reviews of this timeless masterpiece. On Amazon, it has an impressive 4.8 out of 5 stars. One reviewer wrote, "This book alone has taught me so much in life. I credit it with many of my successes in leadership and relationships. The techniques are easy to apply, and the difference they make is incredible." Another reader said, "I was skeptical at first, but after putting just a few of these principles into practice, I saw an immediate improvement in my interactions with people. It is truly life-changing." On Goodreads, it holds an average rating of 4.21 stars, with many reviewers saying they reread it every few years as a refresher. One review wrote, "It is one of those books that makes you realize just how much we complicate human interactions. Everything in here is common sense, but common sense we often forget to use." But while there are many who praise this book, some have also criticized the book. For example, some critics have argued that the book and the examples it uses are outdated. The examples are old-fashioned and do not always apply to the modern world. There are also those who think of his teachings as manipulative and not genuine and sincere. One negative Amazon review put it this way: "It is basically a guide to being likable. If you are a naturally kind and thoughtful person, you probably will not learn anything new. If you are just following these steps to get something from people, it is going to feel fake." In our view, both the positive and negative views carry weight. We think that the real power of this book is not in following its advice, but understanding people. The advice in the book is more of a teaching in mindsets and naturally becoming a person that people like and respect. That is why the book still resonates in an age of social media, networking, and constant communication, because the ability to connect with people is more important than ever. Whether you are building a business, trying to get ahead in your career, or just looking to have better relationships with friends and family, these principles can still apply. If you are someone who struggles to maintain good relationships, this book can definitely be a good read. But even if you are great with people, it is a great reminder of things that even the best of us can forget in daily life. As Carnegie himself once said, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. And that is precisely what this book is about. It is not about tricks or manipulation. It is about learning to understand people, to appreciate them, and to make them feel valued. When you do that, relationships naturally improve. And that is it for today's episode of Intellings, friends. If you have read How to Win Friends and Influence People, what are your opinions? How did it change your interaction with people? Please share your views in the comments section below. We love your comments. Also, do not forget to subscribe so that you can receive timely notifications for all future events and programs, including news, reviews, and interviews related to nonfiction books. Thank you for listening.